Alright, so we're walking through downtown Salt Lake today because, well, I had to drop my car off to get an oil change and some other stuff before I go on my road trip. So we're going to do a little morning walking tour, Saturday morning walking tour of downtown Salt Lake. So yeah, it's a growing city. A lot of these buildings are older. Probably 70s architecture, 70s, 80s architecture. And then a lot that are newer, with the glass newer, 2000s, 2010 style architecture. I'm from this city. I grew up here. I grew up in the neighborhood about as close to downtown as you can possibly get. So, and I know I got stopped saying so much, so I won't say so nearly so much as I've been saying so in my previous videos. So there's that. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of construction happening, as you can hear, in downtown Salt Lake. So there's a pit over there. If you see, we'll walk over to it in a minute. Wait for the road to clear here. Yeah, so there's a pit over here. They're tearing down a lot of these older buildings, and they're making them a lot into condos, high-density housing and office buildings. It's kind of the way that it goes in these cities, especially these western cities, smaller western cities. I think Salt Lake is the 120th or 121st biggest city in the US. Just the right size, in my opinion. You got everything that you need. And we're starting to get some big city problems, more than when I was a kid, but you're really not getting the same kind of issues that you're having in a Chicago or a Los Angeles, or even like a Nashville, somewhere like that. So it's nice. It's a nice place to live. The big Ken Garff building out here. Ken Garff's a big car dealership. It's been in this market for a long time, as long as I've been alive. This is the Broadway Theater. It's an independent theater that I go to a lot. See independent movies in Salt Lake. It's been there for a long time now. Salt Lake Film Society does their movies. They're independent. So if you don't want to support the big theater chains, see more independent movies instead of just superhero movies or whatever the big studios are turning out these days, you can go see them at the Broadway. Some older buildings. A lot of these older facades they kept, which I like. And then either built onto them, so you can see that they kind of built onto this facade here with a newer part. That's the same building. I like that. I think that gives character to the street. I gotta cross here real quick before the light turns. This is State Street. So this is the biggest street pretty much in downtown, and it's the longest continuous street anywhere in the US. State Street goes from the Capitol all the way down to, I think, 130th or 114th south in one continuous street without turning. It's a lot of street. I'll walk around here a little bit. Big Wells Fargo building is coming up. One of the biggest buildings in the state. So up there it is. You kind of see the blue poking out. It's really warm today. Hopefully it'll be warmer than yesterday. Not a lot of people on the streets this early. It's only about 8:20 a.m. So it looks like there was a window broken right here. Some graffiti. Some of these storefronts are abandoned. I'd be interested to know what the occupancy rate for buildings is in downtown Salt Lake. So this one, we'll walk over here. You can see that. That building has been vacant for probably 20 years. I don't know if they're ever going to rent that thing. It's crazy to me that it has not been torn down or rented yet. There's been a sign on it for buying it. I'm wondering if it's because they don't want to tear it down. They want to sell it as is. And somebody doesn't want to buy the building because it might have structural issues. But that's just me speculating. I'm going to walk up through Gallivan Plaza here. So this is the Gallivan Center. That's a business center, and then also like an arts and entertainment center. There's a lot of concerts that go on here. I'll show you the stage in a minute. They do a lot of this stuff. Some office buildings. It's the Wells Fargo building right here. And then this is just some high-end clothing stores, barber shops, things like that in downtown. And we got the local news building right there. So you see that? It's the local news. 2 News. They're a CBS affiliate, I believe. So this is part of Gallivan Plaza. You have all the streets, all the little shops down there. It's a really good vegan ice cream place that I've been to. I'm not a vegan, but they have really good ice cream. It tastes almost like actual ice cream. And I think everybody could do to probably cut down on their dairy a little bit. Nice shot of some buildings up here. That one is pretty much brand new. I think they just finished construction on that one last year or the year before. That's the Gallivan Center building, the Chase building now. That's been there for a while, a couple decades. We'll go up. Still a lot of snow left to be melted. Most of that is probably going to melt today, or at least by next week. It's later next week. We're supposed to have 70s, low 70s during the day, which is nice for early April. The concern though is that all that snow up on the mountains is going